Welcome back to the channel, guys. So in today's video, we're going to be installing this stealth hitch on this Tesla Model 3. We're going to be trying out the fit, finish, and performance. All right, so in comparison, why you don't want to tow with a normal 2-inch receiver and you want to use a stealth hitch is you don't have any of that movement, and you have all kinds of movement right there, and that's what you want to eliminate with the stealth hitch. And that is a whole lot of slop, and that's perfectly normal for a normal hitch. But a stealth hitch, you have none of that movement right there. I'm super excited about this, where you can switch out components, you can lock it and unlock it, and it does not have any play whatsoever. Don't want to drop these. There we go. So get your fingers in there and have both taillights removed. So we come over here to the instructions, and they are in color and they're very well spelled out with tips and what you need for the sockets. So I've already got the taillight out. So our next step right here, we're on step 6, is removing T25 Torx from the wheel well, push pin, and then we have right to the 10 millimeters on the underside of the bumper. So you can get to this T25 Torx right there, that T25, and then a power tool, and you can get right on that. Up with these 10 millimeters and the 10 millimeters on the top. So the next thing is to right here release the and you do have to unplug this connector. So let's see, the easiest way is if you take a little tool like this and put it right here and go up, you can see how that just popped right out, and you're not going to damage any of these little clips right here. And you can do the same right here. You want to go up and it goes right over top. So all these right here are loose. We just got a couple little snaps right here, and you do this one the same exact way, up and out. Need pressure on this wiring harness, and then I can get to the bolts right here, here, and here. So I do have this just in case that I need it, but let's see if the little Milwaukee, this is a little M12, and let's see if it'll take these things loose. This thing has some torque to it. 3 on each side, and that bar should pull straight out. All right, so let's see if we get lucky again with this. Still got a full charge on the battery. Wow. This little thing is stout. I am impressed. All right, so these 4 bolts we'll put to the side. We got these 3 right here, and this plate right here should pull off. I guess that's a little bit of factory corrosion there. Not too bad. I don't see any rust or anything. That does appear to be like a paint, actually, and that appears to be aluminum. All right, so now we got our nylon washers. So it does say in the instructions to scrape any loose sealant around the studs right there. These are very, very thin, just to keep the metal apart right here between the aluminum and the steel hitch. All right, so now it is time to put this right here on the car. So a pretty important step right here. So I do have the torque wrench set on 45 foot-pounds. You do want to torque all these down. So 45 exactly, and get these outer ones the same. These are some of the most detailed and perfect instructions I have ever seen installing a product in my long history of working on cars. So these have color pictures, step by step. So I got everything laid out here. So you want the flat metal washers on the back. you're gonna be going through this steel product right here. You want the nylon in between the steel and the aluminum crash bar right here. And then ultimately, you want the nut on the inside right here. You want the narrow side of the beam facing down, the wide side of the beam facing up, and everything is, and also the frame bracket notch up. So you got a little notch right there, right here in between the steel and the aluminum. Slide this in, all three at once. Then you can set it down. If you do have a blanket, and they do stay all threaded through there where you can start the nuts. Back of the car. Now these are 45 foot-pounds as well, and this is why you need to leave these loose, these brackets right here at least, out of the bar right here in the center, and you do want to have 1 inch on each side. The distance is about 1 inch, it says, as a tip. Right there, now is the time that we're gonna be installing this toe kit install. It does look like there are two different kits. So the rack receiver does not have these plates right here. That's for an additional strength, and it does look like right here, so 150 foot-pounds, so pretty considerable. A little trick whenever you're putting this on, it does say to use a 15/16 open end wrench. I am using a 24 millimeter because it's almost identical to a 15/16, and torque this back and forth a couple times because these are very important components here. So you do have the little rubber plug. You don't want any dirt or debris to get in there. So the key rotates, that comes out. You want to push this clockwise, this drops straight out. And then this is not for towing, so it's only for like a bike rack. Then you have the receiver hitch right here, and it's quite a bit heavier, but you want to insert it perfectly straight. And you're going to hear that slam shut right there. So that's the pin locking. You also want to turn your key back straight, hit the button, put your plug back, and then you have a secure connection. When you're pulling a trailer, you don't have any movement in this, and that eliminates the loose connection that you would have with the standard 2-inch receiver here. You'd always have a little bit of movement, so your trailer actually would slam forward whenever you brake and then whenever you go to take off. So that would actually increase your stopping distance using this or any other receiver. So that's the advantage of a stealth hitch. You have everything, one component. You don't have anything slamming into the back of the car every time that you hit the brakes. So that's the advantage over this hitch, over any other hitch on the market. This is a really well thought out design. I like the whole key locking design right here. It's really easy to use. The key stays in right there, comes straight out. And then you also have this rubber plug. Whenever it's not in use, you turn your key, lock that. There's a little button right here. Then you can lock it. You push that little button on the bottom, and then you put this little rubber plug right there so you don't get any dirt or debris up in there. So it always is a tight fit, and it slides in there nice and easy. The whole hitch install. Now we're about to move to the electrical portion. I am amazed with how well the connection fits between these two. There is no movement whatsoever, so you're not going to hear that slapping and banging between a loose receiver connection. Typically you have a hitch on the back of a truck and it just moves. This is pretty solid. And then you have the locking key mechanism for the quick release, and that makes it the stealth hitch. Now, I also love how flat this is, so you're not gonna lose any of your ground clearance right here when you're towing a trailer. For this part of the video, if you got a newer Tesla, then you have a plug and play system right here, and you just plug in the little adapter that they give you right here for the power, and you get to skip a whole lot of steps. pretty much effortlessly right under there. And then I hook this one, and they got these little clasps right here. I love this. They are plastic, so they're not gonna, you know, like a metal hook, they're not gonna scratch up anything. And they have this little clip right here. You can do it one-handed. This product right here protects the ski. You can see right here, just a hit right there would be all the way up against on the top. Instead it's hitting right here, so definitely gonna save the ski.